Welcome to another episode of NeverEndingPanel.com. I'm your host and moderator, Donnie Collin. Tonight we have special guest and horror writer and hard science fiction writer.
You're the host and moderator? What happened to just being the moderator?
I've been saying host and moderator for like weeks now. So now you have a problem suddenly after like 20 episodes of host and moderator?
After all this time, you know,
man.
I'm trying. He's like not easy. All right, fine.
Well, is he the host
but
and
I was
moderator?
in the. You know what? We're making this big deal about like reintroducing Cody so I could get the damn title and all of that, and now you just cut right in the middle of it. Can we start this?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. We have a special guest tonight, Cody Goodfellow, who is a horror and hard science fiction writer and a generally good fellow. Next to Cody is Carl Lemke, expert in just about everything, as all our panelists who are non-authors are, but are big experts.
And I am your not-host and not moderator.
And our
Eitan
non-host
Collin.
and non-moderator, Eitan Collin, founder and fellow Duberhead and my brother. So tonight's topic is, does it count as war if you don't kill anyone?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's such a zero-sum game now. How can you not wage some sort of major tactic against somebody and change the, either deny them resources or to deny them access to the world market?
Denial of service is a major attack. That can actually be an act of war.
Infowar attacks. Yeah, if you shut off the lights in a hospital, you're going to kill everybody in the hospital.
But assuming, let's take it to its hypothetical end. You don't kill anybody, but the Chinese launch an attack, an info attack, and shut down large swaths of the Pentagon, so that they can move in, their submarines to a certain area. That is an act of war.
Even on a battlefield where it's shooting war and everything, the object is not to kill the enemy. The object is to stop the enemy from doing what he's trying to do. Right. If you had something that could freeze him in place and you thaw him out later in a prison camp and he's fine, that serves your purpose just as much as shooting him with a bullet.
Absolutely.
Same thing is true with countries at war. If you had a magic ray that would just stop the country in its tracks, you win.
Dr. Manhattan.
Well, yeah, it's like is a bloodless coup not still a coup? If you can convince the army to turn on a leader and he surrenders and you've switched power, it was still an act of war. Violence was averted, but you were fully prepared to use violence, and a violent end is served. I mean, nobody got to choose who the new ruling junta was.
I agree.
Except somebody in the State Department working with somebody in the CIA.
Right,
so.
and Bond says we have to keep to sci-fi examples.
Sure.
And we listen to Bond. So what are sci-fi examples of war where nobody got hurt? I have no idea.
The Peace War.
Oh, good. Thank God Carl's here.
Yep.
Oh, Soundman Rob is here. Well, you don't have a microphone. No. Microphone lady. That's what you're here for.
Run.
Mic girl. Oh, you had your hand up?
Yes,
Gosh. I'm so sorry.
But first we need to introduce the
After Soundman Rob,
That's
it will
Soundman
go
Rob.
to Mic girl Michelle.
Denial of service, like on a bank or a fiscal institution. Look what happened with the big banking meltdown. Imagine if that was from an enemy state.
Yep, nobody died. Lots of people lost money.
I'm going to ignore Bond and just do the most obvious example, the Cold War between the USA and Russia.
People died.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that only was the spies that died.
Well, if you involve,
Thank God we didn't get that on camera, Michelle.
Spies are people too.
I mean, just counting that the triggering event, the invasion of the Eastern Bloc, they didn't just go, oh crap, and let them in.
And don't forget how many people actually got starved out and died in West Berlin before we finally blocked that blockade. Not that many, but I think there's probably contribute a good couple of hundred, if not 1,000 or two, who wouldn't have died if Stalin hadn't decided to play that little game.
Well, I think that
while we're at it, we can also have that little misunderstanding in South Vietnam. If we're going on to anything else, we could also talk about that small little incident we had in Korea where about 2 million Chinese crossed the border because we got too near the damn river.
I'm thinking there's not going to be a rebuttal on this one.
But the Peace War, Werner Vinci, I think, basically putting the enemy into these stasis bubbles until there weren't enough left of them to do anything.
Yep.
Sure, that's effectively soft genocide, right?
Essentially, except they come back from it.
Right.
Marty,
Quite often more effective.
mic closer to your mouth. Thank you.
More
Closer to your mouth.
effective than killing
Well,
the
you stop that.
than killing the enemy is to, if you've got an enemy which basically likes to take care of its people, is you disable them, make them go into a hospital, tie up all kinds of soldiers taking care of their wounded.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Oh,
Steve,
no, worse.
That's
Some
worse.
forms of war are actually making the enemy or making the people, the polity of the enemy favor you.
Actually,
that's how Hamas operates.
Actually, Steve Perry wrote a fascinating book called The Man Who Never Missed. and he purposely injects all the soldiers he's fighting, and he pretends to be this huge guerrilla movement with this drug, which basically puts them in a horrible twisted paralysis for about 6 to 8 months. They don't die, but they're not going to be able. You have to take care of them, and it just ties you up in knots, literally.
Oh, yeah.
But he purposely doesn't kill the soul.
And actually, back in the real world, the whole purpose of landmines is not necessarily to kill the enemy, but to disable.
Deterrence.
It's not even deterrence so much. Well, it is deterrence in some cases. In others, things like the butterfly bombs that were dropped in Afghanistan by the Russians, they're not intended to kill the victim. They're intended to maim him, send him and his whole family out of country to where they've got a decent hospital.
Or the little dolls. They used to drop the little dolls
Exactly.
that were booby trapped to blow the hands off of curious
Right,
children.
a high-powered bomb would kill one person and take him out of the country. Low-powered bomb maims him and the whole family leaves the country.
Actually, the truth of the matter is, if you kill some guy in a platoon, you got 6 other guys in that platoon, 8 other guys in that platoon really pissed off. If you wound a guy in that platoon, not only is he gone, but 1 or 2 other people have to go and carry him out too. You know what? I'm going to actually have to change my mind on this one. It does count on war, even if you don't kill anybody. You've made good arguments.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm thinking that this one is lock, stock, and barrel. Slam dunk. I don't think we're getting any fights here.
However, if you think that we're wrong, please comment below. Let us know how we got it wrong and how, indeed, it doesn't count as war if you kill anybody.
There is no set rule, executive producer, that it has to go 8 minutes, especially when we've wrapped this one up so completely tightly it's airtight.
We've even got the comments.
We even smacked down Michelle.
We said the comments below.
Yeah, we even smacked down Michelle. So,
Even if we get it right, they should comment.
okay, but wait, we're not over yet because we got to do the closing kind of thing.
But it doesn't
Anyways,
count as a comment if you don't press enter.
right? If you have a panel and nobody comes, is it actually never mind? Thank you very much
You
for
don't want to
being.
ask that question now.
No, you really don't want to answer that. Yeah. That wraps up this episode of NeverEndingPanel.com. Thank you very much.